Oh, by the way, I should tell you, Mike Tyson is coming in today.
Ooh.
So I'm looking forward to speaking to the Iron Mike Tyson, the great boxer.
Ganji is a huge fan of his stage show.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll talk about everything today. I have a long list of things I need to talk to Iron Mike Tyson about.
Our early adventures involved traveling all over the country fighting in these small clubs called smokers. The reason why they called them smokers was because the smoke was so thick and dense that you couldn't even see the guy standing in front of you to hit. Cuss was a big man in this world, and the fights were unsanctioned, which meant lawless. There weren't no paramedics outside. You got a concussion, you died, it's on you. It's on you. Everybody close up and leave. And plus, if the crowd didn't like your performance, they didn't boo. They started fighting each other to show you how it was done. And I had to often lie about my age. I was only 14, but Cuss had chiseled me into a great Michelangelo statue. Not now though, but just back then. I was cut up like I was really cut up like I got into the fight with the Latin Kings and lost. But I was looking good. I won the national champion just like Cuss said I was. I was the champion of the nation at 14 years old. I was well on my way. Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. I'm on the Howard Stern Show. This is interesting. I've never been to Howard Stern. I don't know what to expect. He's older now. What else I noticed about him? He seems to be nicer now. Robin seems to be nicer now. Maybe I caught him at the right time of his career where he's mellowed and he's a compassionate person.
So you think you're going to get a kinder, gentler Howard Stern today?
I have no idea.
All right, man. Well, we'll see you in the studio. Thanks
I will be there.
All right, hey, exciting morning. Mike Tyson is here.
Sure.
Iron Mike Tyson. Great to see you.
He's smaller than I thought he'd be.
Hi, you're so beautiful, Robin.
Yeah, Robin. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Pleasure.
Good to see you.
It's good seeing you too, Robin.
Let me look at you, man. You're such an iconic figure that it's so weird to see you in person finally after all these years. I always wanted to have you on the show, and I was always told through different people that you didn't want to come on. You were nervous about it.
No, I was gonna kick your ass, Howard.
Really?
Back then, I was gonna kick Howard's ass. You don't remember,
Why?
Robin? I don't know.
Why would you kick my ass? What did I do?
You were just angry at everybody.
I wasn't
You're an angry man. Mike, is that true?
About?
You were going to kick my ass?
Well, I was going to attempt to and stuff.
Attempt? Oh, you couldn't
Attempt? I think you would have handled it.
Mike, do you think that you could still fight? In other words, if you got into shape, I'm being serious.
Okay.
All right, the anger isn't there anymore, and maybe the will isn't there anymore. I don't know, but do you think if you had to train and fight, there's probably a lot of guys you could still take out, right?
No, I couldn't be anybody. I don't have that in me. I don't care who you are. If you don't want to do this, you don't want to hurt somebody, it's not going to turn out well.
But even in your personal life, you don't occasionally get angry and just that, like the rage of the fight,
Well, that guy's not going to come out, but I'm angry that I'm not having my way. My wife's not going to do this. My wife dresses me, so I got.
Does your wife dress you?
Well, she tries to, but I go along with the program.
Right. How is life now these days?
Life is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pretty broke, but life is so awesome. I have my wife, I have my children. I just had my show in Washington, D.C. All my kids came out, and that was a special occasion. They all came out, and they never saw me perform before, so I felt like the happy pops.
It drives.
How many children are there?
There's 7, Robin. You don't have any children, Robin. You shouldn't have a child
you
with
should
me.
give me a couple of yours.
10 years ago, we should have had children, Robin.
Yeah, you should have made it with Robin. Hey, Mike.
I like Robin Crawford.
When it drives me crazy that you're broke, and I'll tell you why.
It drives you crazy. Yeah. What do you think it does to me?
He might feel worse, Howard.
A little, right, Robin?
I'll tell you why it drives Mike,
Robin.
The reason it drives me crazy, because you are a true student of boxing. You knew, you're one of those guys who really understands boxing and where boxers come from.
Yes, 100%.
And so when you look back at boxers, traditionally, they've gotten hosed every step of the way. They generate tremendous amount of income. Forget about what goes on gambling-wise, what they generate and all that. But it seems like every boxer ends up in the hole, always ends up getting beaten down financially.
Well, there's a really small percentage that don't, probably a half percentage that doesn't.
Right.
But this is Listen, when I was a young kid, I heard about Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson. You hear about all these great fighters, Tony Canzoneri, Lou Anderson. You hear about these guys that amazing fortunes and lost it. And you know this stuff. You all know this stuff, but they knew about the guys before them in the 10th and the early century and the 20s. But still, we go broke. You know why? Because handling money is an art. It's an art than handling money. And we never practiced that art before.
Well,
what did you do with all the money? Did you know where that money went?
Well, a lot of people stole money.
Well, as a fan of yours, I got really nervous for you when you had a bunch of guys who were white guys who were handling you and stuff, and I kind of feel like you went through this phase where you said, "Fuck that, I'm going with all black management, blah 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 blah," which is fine, which is a great thing to do, but at the same point, you threw away the guys who were actually watching your money, who I think actually were pretty good about it.
That's not true.
No,
they were bad. They were really bad.
They were bad too.
Yeah, that's why I left them.
Right.
And boom. And if they weren't so bad, I wouldn't have ran away to this guy.
What were they doing that was so bad? The white dudes. I thought that they actually had your back.
No, they did, and they did what every particular white dude did to a black dude when he was a fighter. And these guys are the managers. It's pretty much because I'm a young kid. I didn't understand about that stuff. I was a glory seeker.
Yeah.
And they were just patting everything, expenses, everything. I had no idea.
Does it keep you up at night now, like knowing how much money you probably had personally about $400 million? Does it keep you up at night now where you go, fuck?
Never. I never once in my life I said, fuck. I just, I had everything I ever wanted, and I have everything I wanted now. Yeah. And plus, when I had all that money, I was living such a chaotic life, I wasn't really enjoying myself. It was better if I was even dead at that time. Listen, I've accomplished so much now with nothing, more than I ever could with that $500 million.
Right.
I got an Emmy, I got a Golden Globe Award. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't bring back no venereal diseases to the house.
Right.
I'm just living a respectable citizen life. You know, it's no glory and nothing. I don't have no glorious life, but I'm living a life where I could live and survive now and live with dignity.
I guess when I imagine your life, it would have been nice if even if you held on to some portion of that where you'd have
like $100 million.
You'd have your house paid for. You know, I'd like to see you at least enjoying some of the, when you're a gladiator,
fruits,
when you're a guy who goes in the ring, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, most sports, team sports, you're talking about you went in by yourself and came out a world champion.
You risk your life every time.
There's not a lot of sports like that when you think about it. Tennis, okay, one-on-one.
But
boxing,
it's not a risk your life situation.
No, but tennis, boxing, I'm trying to think of sports where it's just you versus another guy,
Golf.
Golf maybe. Not even. Yeah, golf.
I don't look at it that way, Howard. I'm a professional athlete for over 25 years, so I don't look at it that way. I look at it that maybe this deserves to happen to me because I was just so good at what I did, no one else stands a chance.
Yeah.
And I had to grow up in other areas in life too. Yeah. And by going through these ordeals, I'm such a better person. I've lived life where I've seen a lot of my friends. Quite a few, not a lot, but they had great fortunes. They may have lost it, or lost some of it. I may have gotten embarrassed in the way they got their fortune.
Right.
And know what they do? They killed themselves.
Right.
And so. That only tells me that's what they were worth, is money. They weren't worth nothing else.
Wealthy people who kill themselves because it wasn't the thing that made them happy, really, in the final analysis.
Well, I don't know what it was.
Or they lost it, and then they said that was all they were. Most of the time,
it's because they lost it.
Right.
And that's why, because that's really all they're worth is some money. Big deal. Listen, I don't have $500 million, but still, I'm Mike Tyson.
Yeah. But do you have anonymity where you live? Like, in other words, are you able to live, I don't know where you live now, but...
Nevada.
In Nevada. Are you able to live, I would imagine, because you are Mike Tyson, you're famous. And someone once said, the hardest thing is to be a famous person with no money, because you can't really hide. You're now living in a regular community, and people have access to you. They can, Does
he really live in a regular community?
I don't know. I don't know where Mike's living now.
Well, I live in a desolate community because normally everybody that lives there, that's their second house, so they're normally not there. So I live pretty much desolate.
Yeah, right. Nobody shows up.
Nobody shows up. I got pigeons. It's against the law to have animals. I got birds flying. There's
Nobody checks on you.
There's 50 houses. There's nobody there. They're big mansions. People think I'm rich. I hang on the other guy's lot sometimes. People think that's my mansion. That's how this stuff works, you know. The IRS people are getting aggressive. Holy moly, no.
Mike, when the phase of your life that's so fascinating me, when you went to prison, I always I thought about you a lot when you were in prison because...
Thank you. Why didn't you write me and send me any commissary
Because
money?
I didn't know you.
So what? Don't think about me and worry about me if you don't know me. If you're a compassionate liberal, as you come across to be...
Yes.
With communist tendencies... You know.
Oh, I'm a capitalist.
All right.
I know you're a big fan of Chairman Mao, which I'm going to ask you about. But when you were in prison... Was that the most difficult time in your life? Because I would think the other prisoners all want to make their bones and go after you because they're like, hey, Mike's not so tough. I'll go kick his fucking ass, and I'll prove to everybody I'm the toughest guy.
I don't know how it... Now I'm not so tough, but back then I was.
You look pretty tough to me
No, I'm
still.
not tough now. No, I'm not tough now.
I don't buy that.
Howard, I went to a Mike Tyson fight. He fought a guy named Tyrell Biggs. Remember that fight?
Yeah.
And... when Mike Tyson walked into the stadium, I said, that other guy ought to run. He had such a fierce look on his face.
Well, a lot of these guys, I mean, that was part of the whole thing, too. They would shit their pants just when you'd walk into the ring, right?
That's what they said.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? Like you had them psyched out before you even got in there.
When I was fighting, it was beautiful. You know, when I look at it now, I thought, oh, God, I can't believe I said this to this guy. He got children now. I said this stuff.
But you know something? I look back on my own career, and I've said things to people that are insane. Because when I'm competing, I get crazy.
See, my wife doesn't understand that. My wife doesn't
No one
understand.
understands it.
Listen, when I'm competing, I'm suicidal.
Yeah.
We've heard you.
Suicidal when I'm competing. God,
No, but you say suicidal.
Yeah.
Because everything goes out the window, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
This is my only moment to show the world who I am because my self-esteem is so low. They're going to know my name now.
Right.
Fuck. Look what I did.
Mike, I understand it because even for me, radio, competitively, I'd go into towns. I don't even know the people oppose me on the radio, and I'm screaming and yelling violently to get out of my way.
Health problems because of that?
Yeah, I had tremendous problems. I mean, I'm in a psychiatrist's office 3-4 times a week because
I'm taking these pills that I'm gaining this tremendous amount of weight. I got the Zoloft going on. I got the Perplexapine. I got the in and out pills. Man, they got me. I got my zombie swag on when I'm on those pills, man.
Mike, but when you go for the pills, you're going to a psychiatrist to get these pills.
Yes.
Is he talking to you at all? Is he working with you in terms of understanding?
No, he doesn't give a damn about me, Howard, because he's explaining these difficulties of my mental fragments. I forgot the word he used.
Right.
I don't have good linguistics, but time. Sorry, I have to go. That's always bothers me. I'm spilling my guts to this guy. I'm even crying. He said, oh, Mike. It's over now. Excuse me.
So, Mike, the calm.
Keep that thought.
The new Mike, the calmer Mike. Is it because of the pills, or is it because you've had some sort of revelation in your life?
Well, this is pretty much revelation. My wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. When she had, it's funny when you're in love with somebody and you think you know somebody, and then when you really get intimate with them, when you're with them every day, they're not the person you thought they was. And that's what my wife, she said, wow, I never dreamed that you were this kind of person, that you're always on these zombie pills and watching Law and Order. And so my wife, she detoxed me. She started reading. She took all my medication. She started reading. She was my girlfriend at the time.
Right.
I didn't even know if I was going to date her that much, but she started reading everything. And she started looking up everything and said, man, this is for homicidal people. This is for, really, Mike, this is for people that's in Bellevue that's locked up.
Right.
And so,
wow.
And so we just started dying. Wow. she started with cayenne peppers and all that stuff, detoxing.
Right.
And
The master cleanse.
that's what it's called.
Right.
Yes.
She's into all these gadgets, you read. And so one day she was eating just vegetables that whole day, that whole week, I guess, vegetables and stuff. And I said, why are you doing that? She said, I'm a vegan for this week because of some weight. And I said, that's why I'm going to be a vegan, because I was 380 pounds.
Right.
And I had to lose a lot of weight.
You were 380.
380, man. It was the worst sexual experience of my life.
So it shows you that you were really depressed, because when you put on that kind of weight and you're on those kind of pills and everything, I mean, your life's out of whack.
Oh, no, the after effect. These pills are going to help me. But, I'm going to feel suicidal. I'm going to go to the bathroom on myself periodically. I'm going to go through all these things. And it's the pills that are killing me more than they're helping me.
So let me ask you something. Why not go to a therapist or a psychiatrist who will sit and talk to you? And maybe you wouldn't have to be on so much medication.
Well, I've done that too, and it didn't work. And so I had to go to the real place, rehab, and I had to go there for like 2 years or 15 months. And I'm not going to get well. I'm one of those people. You're not going to get me well on no 30-day or no 60-day program. I have to suffer. I have to suffer to get well. You got to put me in there for a year, and I can't be with nobody. I got to be in that dark cell, and I have to sweat it out. And it's not going to be, give me a pill and it's going to work overnight.
What happens to you if you go off all the medication? Are you just...
I'm not on medication anymore.
He's not on it.
Zero.
Zip. I should be on it, though, a little bit. But zip, no, I feel good.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I thought you were implying that you were on medication.
No way.
He said the medication was doing him badly.
Congratulations.
Howard. It was making him worse.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So whatever you're doing on your own, and that's it.
Yes, with a lot of help. I had a great support system, and that's
Is it your wife who's helped you the most?
Oh, absolutely, my wife, and there's other people too. I had other people that were in my life that looked after me and sponsored me, and man, it's just amazing. The worst thing the worst thing that ever happened to me is that I started using drugs really heavily.
Yeah.
But the best thing that ever happened to me is that I got involved with the recovery program, and there you meet people. Wow, you meet some amazing people from all walks of life.
So you're not doing any weed, you're not drinking, you're not doing anything.
Hey, no drink, no cocaine, no this is my drug of choice. No heroin, no cocaine, no morphine, no liquor.
You were doing the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, but I'm a hard guy.
Yeah.
I'm a hard guy.
You think when you analyze it,
no, go ahead.
when you analyze your drug problem and all that, and everything that you went through in your life, it all boils down to your upbringing. It's your mom. It was an awful situation. She was a prostitute.
No, it wasn't my upbringing. It was my pain.
Well, from your parents, right?
No.
Well, your mom was not a good mother.
No. I don't know. Maybe she wasn't a good mother. Maybe she was. I don't know what a good mother is.
Well,
because of course I see people who pretty much label good parents, and they have miserable kids. Their kids commit suicide, murders, bombs, but this is what happens. So it has nothing to do with the parent. It has to do with the person and what he wants to be in his life.
Do you ever get jealous of your own children, the fact that they have a good father and a good mother, that kind of thing?
I've been through that stage.
Yeah.
I'm not there no more, but I've been.
But you weren't always the greatest parent either. Come on.
So,
no,
but when you're parenting,
I'm better than my parents.
Right.
I'm better than my parents, and I'm suck as a parent, but I'm better than my parents.
You're there.
Yeah, I suck. I'm not even near, but I'm still better than my parents.
You did them a favor going away.
You're so right.
That's
I went
true.
away to get right.
True.
Now I'm the parent that they need to have in their life. But back then, oh God, the best thing that happened is their mother left.
Right. Because the issue is, how do you even know how to be a good parent? And then as soon as you become a good parent, you say, shit, how come they got it so good and I had it so fucked up?
Because you put them in that situation that they have it good.
Right.
Because you don't want them to have it like you. You would probably kill yourself if your kids had the life that you. Imagine my kids grew up in abandoned tenement buildings.
Right. It'd be terrible.
Whoa.
And yet there's a part of you that wants to make their lives better. And then there's a part of you that goes, hey, fuck. Who are these kids to have?
No, why? Because all your life you despise the kids that your kids became. Spoiled kids never had a chance to take a deep breath, go, because everybody always giving them everything. And it's that way now. And sometimes you want them to be able to take that deep breath, to let them know it's hard, but you can still go to that further step. You can go further if you want to. Even though it's hard, you can still go further.
When you tell your kids about your life, It's probably like you're talking like from Mars because they have no idea.
They said, Dad, get out of here. You had to go to school. Because if I can't spell, because sometimes I misspell,
Right.
and say, Daddy, that's not how you spell my name, Dad.
Right.
And they said, Dad, don't tell me dangerous is hard for you, Dad. Don't tell me that, Dad. And I'm just waiting any minute he's going to say, Dad, tell me what it was like when you were a nigger, Dad. Tell me what that life, Dad. What was that life? You're biting people's ears, savage. You know, what was that like, Dad? Because my kids are like in Ivy League schools and
Right.
for high school kids and stuff. Billis, what's the name? Billis and what's the name? With the president's kid, I was intimidated. I went to my kid's school and I was intimidated. The kids and all these kids intimidated me. I thought, fuck. I thought I was in Harvard.
I know, it's crazy.
Like, what the hell? I don't belong here.
Right, it's another world, isn't it?
Oh man, it's interesting.
Do you have a good relationship with all your kids, or they?
Thank God.
You do.
Thank God. Yes, I have. Oh man, I'm just very grateful. You know, I have she's graduating from Georgetown Medical Student. I have a daughter.
No kidding.
Wow.
One of your daughters is graduating, going to be a doctor?
Well, she's graduating to be one, but I don't know if that's particularly what she wants to do. I'm in the liberalist. Well, some of the kids, but I'm in the liberalist. My family is so liberal.
Yeah.
So liberal. I can't even.
Well, you're walking around with a Chairman Mao tattoo. Of course, they're going to be liberal.
But I can't even go around and say, hey, it's a possibility that Mr. Christie from New Jersey, he's a good guy, Christie. It's got to be. He's the only.
You can't even say that.
But he's probably the only Republican we can say. Him and Michael Steele, the only Republicans we can talk about. Everybody else is garbage. What the heck? Come on.
Go back to, if you can mentally, go back to prison for a second, because I want to ask you.
Okay.
Here you are, famous Mike.
I'm
And
there.
by the way, I got to say, Mike Tyson is currently, the reason he's here, he's on tour for his one-man show, Undisputed Truth. We've heard great things about it from guys who work here with us who have gone to see you and loved it. For tour dates and tickets.
You're just mellow. This is not normal. You're just too mellow.
Who's mellow? I'm mellow.
I came up here in anticipation talking about anal sex and this and that.
Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I'm sorry.
We're working you into it.
Have you
We don't
enjoyed it?
just go right in.
You want to talk anal? Let's go.
I know, but I expect you're such a nice guy for this fucking guy. He's like,
I don't see you into anal sex.
You were into anal sex?
No, because this is what I was going to tell you about, because I'm really not that way no more since I became a Muslim. I'm really halal. So if I was, it's not like I wouldn't do it, but if I had to, I would have to walk around with the person all day to see what they ate and stuff, because, it's real.
But I mean, you had crazy days when you were doing drugs and you were fucking, the man of the hour. You were out of your mind. Like,
no.
I read that like you were with 7 hookers one night.
Halal.
Yeah.
I can't do that. You have to be clean. I have to be with them
now.
every day. Make sure what they're eating. Everything they eat has to evaporate, for instance, in their system, because and they eat any pills, any apples or seeds, anything. And it's just not good.
Can you believe the old Mike Tyson in terms of like even the pussy fever that you were in? Like, can you believe that like now you've got that under control? You're really in love with your wife, aren't you?
Implicitly, yeah.
And so isn't it kind of liberating? You can go out and see all these hot chicks and stuff and not even give them a second fucking thought.
Well, that's true too, but you never know, because every time I go out, I'm with my wife.
Right. She doesn't let you off.
She doesn't let you off the hook.
No, I never leave. I never want to leave my wife.
Right.
That's just how I want to live my life.
Do you worry that you turn your wife into your mother, in a sense, the mother you never had?
My wife is my mother.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is that dangerous, though, in a relationship?
That's extremely dangerous, but it is what it is. She thinks, hey, you should wear this today, you should wear this, you should wear this, you should put this way and this way. That's just who she lives.
And you like it?
Oh, yeah.
And you like it because you now feel like you're getting mothering?
I love being loved.
But can't that turn into something where
I'm never going to have a mother. That's just over. I never had a mother. I'm never going to know what it's like to have a mother.
But it's dangerous to turn other people into the mother you never had.
No, I'm not turning her into a mother. She became my mother. She wants to be my mother.
That's the role.
I love my son. Oh, God. My wife.
But do you ever say to her, hey, I don't need a mother. I need a wife?
But she is my wife.
Right.
So she's being my wife.
She's covering in all bases.
She got you covered.
Hey, listen. I'm just happy to be married to her. I don't care what she does.
It's very hot. I've seen her.
Yes, I agree.
How did you
Extremely
meet her?
Hey, listen. I met her. I met her through her family, because her family used to come to the fights and stuff.
You met her through her father is a Muslim. And
yeah, but I wasn't a Muslim. That's not how we became friends, though.
Your father, when you were a young man, introduced his daughter to you, but the two of you couldn't click. You were in the wrong place. right?
No, she was only 12 years old, I guess, when I first
Well,
met
that definitely wouldn't click. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a real problem.
Isn't that weird? You knew your wife when she was 12? Isn't that strange?
Absolutely.
You know, it's so weird. And did she have fantasies, like as a little girl, well, one day I'll grow up and marry Mike Tyson?
I have no idea.
Did you ever ask her that?
Of course she's going to say that.
Right.
You know, I don't know, but I just know I was happy to marry her.
Meanwhile,
Maybe she was raised to marry you because her
listen,
father was such a fan.
Listen, that's what she says not, but that's what I truly believe.
Hey.
That's what I truly believe. Her father wanted her to be with me. That's what I believe. I know she doesn't want to believe that, but that's what I believe.
Go back to prison for a second.
I've been there twice with you, Howard.
I know,
Come
but go
on.
back.
You never stay, though.
Yeah, you're right. Mike, when you were in there, and you're this famous guy, one of the most famous guys in the world, do the other prisoners taunt you and try to get you into some sort of, I don't know, fight or some kind of, or maybe even they try to befriend you because they think they can get something from you on the outside?
Or were you the bad guy on campus?
Sometimes.
Right.
But you have to think about how, this is what happens. You know, you look at the press, you look at me, Mike Tyson, famous champion, has to go to prison with bad people, murder. But when you really think about it, this is how this was discovered. I was discovered in an institution with bad people.
Oh, yeah. You
And,
grew up in institutions.
Yeah, so this wasn't a hard problem at all. Just living on the outside was hard. Going in that place was not hard at all.
Wow.
In other words,
Not hard at all inside. No.
After
Not
all,
hard
you
at all.
in other words,
recognize
For a guy
that.
like me, no.
in other words, so when you went into prison,
That's taking the easy route out for me.
right?
That's taking the easy route out, baby.
In other words, you grew up in prison.
Most of my life, yeah, in young adult life.
And when you go into prison, as rough as it is, I would think the psychological torture would be, hey, I got all this money, I finally got all this success, and now they're taking it away from me and putting me in prison. But for you, it was kind of like, hey, man, so what?
Yeah, but I had that.
But
when I was
this,
in
you
prison,
know
too,
that
though.
world.
I'm
That's,
sorry, what?
But when I was
What?
in prison, I had that too. I had everything I wanted in prison. I couldn't. Well, I could go to the hospital and stuff when I had to go.
Right.
But I still did what I wanted to. I didn't smoke in it, but I had my food that I wanted to eat. I never ate at the cafeteria. I ate.
How do you do that?
life. I don't know, but it just happens.
No, but wait a
The
second.
best thing that ever happened to prison was prison guards. You know?
Right.
Yeah, that's it. The best thing that ever happened to
Prison guards actually probably liked you
because
because,
they didn't believe I belonged in there.
right, they
And,
felt that you were innocent.
Yeah.
And,
so they
and
took care of you.
Well, if that's what you call it, yeah, that's what they did.
so a prison guard would say, hey, listen, Mike, I'm going to bring you a steak for dinner.
No, that's not how it goes.
How's it go?
That's not how it goes. It's just energy. You have to know the energy. You have to be in the prison system to know the energy. You just feel it, and then someone makes the point that if anything I can do for you, let me know, and I just let them know I need some Chinese food.
Okay, so
Chinese food. I really.
but don't those
desperately-
guards expect payoff when you get out? In other words, they'll
Oh,
bring
no,
you Chinese
no,
food.
they're getting paid there. When people say this guy was a CEO, Rick Ross was a CEO. No, we're happy for CEOs like Rick Ross. They make the prison system exciting because really, a prison system's not exciting at all. That's all you do. You're locked up in your cell.
Right.
And if you're a good boy, they may let you go play for an hour. But that's all you do. It's not exciting like on television. You're constantly locked in your cell.
This idea of working out in prison and becoming big and huge and stuff, did you get into the physical workout, the prison workout?
Yeah, I was for a moment because I ran. I had no chance. I would do my road work and I would do some weights. But then eventually they took the weights away from us.
Why did they do that?
Because they said we were turning our bodies into muscles. Oh no, weapons.
Weapons,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the word, weapons.
so the one joy you had in prison was the idea of going in there and working out and using some time up, and they took away the weights.
No, but then I had a drug counselor in prison. I was porking too, so that was good too.
Oh.
Yeah, I was porking somebody. She was a lady, by the way. I was porking her, yeah.
So how do you get to do that? In other words, you go for drug counseling. So you're alone in a room with the drug counselor?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you believe they trust you even to be
Hey,
alone?
Listen, it's very interesting because the drug counselor was a badass too, so they didn't care. She was one of those people. She didn't care. And then she'd been in this. If you got 10 murders, she's not afraid of nobody. It's one of those people, all right. So it wasn't like they were afraid, but they realized I was in there a little too long with her.
So in other words,
A little too long.
you
You got caught?
So you had a girl.
No, I didn't get caught, but someone told on us And I got nervous. Internal Affairs came in, and I was a little nervous. And I had like another year before, 6 months before I left. And the guy was very kind and polite, and he was saying, "Well, Mike, Mr. Tyson, I hear it's a possibility you will be leaving in 6 months." And then, of course, if we find out different about the case, there could be different arrangements, of course. And I said, "Oh, God,
wow,
yeah.
It's amazing."
Just for porking the counselor.
Were you
could stay longer.
So did you cut her off? Like, did you say, "Fuck it, I'm not screwing this broad anymore"?
No way, Jose.
So in other words, when were you attracted to this woman, or is it because she's the only woman available, she becomes your sex object?
I don't know. My criteria in women are just breathing and stuff.
Right. You weren't being too picky.
Yeah, I wasn't picky.
Was she hot?
She was hot enough.
She had a vagina.
Not too hot. I wasn't on fire afterwards, so she was just hot enough, you know?
So you didn't even have to masturbate in prison. In other words, you had a sexual out. How often would you go for drug counseling with this woman?
Every day.
3 times a day.
3 times a day?
This is some good stuff.
Oh, my God.
No, but she's good. Now, please, man, that's good people. This isn't nobody she ain't no bad person. This is a great person.
You're not kidding. I want to meet her. So you're telling me you would be in the drug counseling 3 times a day?
No.
Oh, actually, my wife's going to kill me about this. But sometimes, this is how it goes, okay?
Right.
First thing in the morning, I go to class to go to drug. Whatever, 90 minutes for an hour and a half. I come back to my dorm house. I go to my job in the gym working out because they wanted me to stay kind of fit a little.
Sure.
Mike Tyson, drug counselor, to the school. They're calling you to the school. Now go to school. And they're like, go get me. And then we go again. Boom, lunchtime. Come back. So then we got to go back to another. I got to go back to work. Because I only got one class. I got to go back to work. Tyson, school, drug counselor. I have to go and say, listen, I got to work out. I got to run. Okay, I can't run. I'm too tired. Okay, I'm too tired. I can't do it. I'm too fucking tired.
You're having more fun in prison than most people have on the outside.
Yeah, you couldn't get that much on the outside.
Why'd you want to leave? Yeah,
I did want to leave, but shit.
But when a relationship like that starts. When you get out, isn't she expecting you to come visit her?
No. Everything was told. Thank you.
That was it.
No.
Over. You never saw her.
Everybody
since you got
understood. Huh?
You never saw her once you got out of prison.
No. I talked to her quite a few times, but I never.
That's something.
That was just that. It's not. She's great. Thank God.
So forgive me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds like this was a party. You'd have your food.
Prison
and it
was great.
And it was like you had the COs there. They made sure that you had your Chinese food.
At first it was really bumpy road because I had a problem dealing with it myself. It was all about me. Fuck you. I hate you. You're white. Fuck you. Racist.
You were angry with the white world, the world in general.
Yeah, it's the world. And that was just an interesting experience for me. I was just so happy that I calmed down and got into the move of things,
Right.
When you got out of prison, was that when you hooked up with Don King?
Yes.
And
but I hooked up with him when he was in prison because that's how I got the contract to get that money.
Right. Yeah. Big contracts.
Yeah.
And this guy Don King, I've had him on the show many times, and he's a charming guy. I mean, you get in his aura, and he's joking. He's he's a character and all of that.
Yeah, we've tried to nail him down many times and never been able to do it.
No, I can't believe Robin couldn't. Robin, you failed on that.
We all failed.
We couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it.
But Mike, how does it happen? In other words, you get I guess you're not paying attention, right? Is that basically it? You're busy trying to be a fighter.
That too, and I'm just doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Travel, have a bunch of girlfriends. I got like 45 girlfriends, and I'm probably married too. And I'm just really.
How much money do you think he owes you?
Well, nobody owes me anything.
Really?
No, nobody owes me anything. I'm just happy to be alive and just, breathing this air and functioning. Nobody owes me anything, and I don't own anyone. I don't owe anyone.
If you saw him today, would you just yell at him, or would you?
No, I wouldn't do anything to him.
You wouldn't.
No, I would never jeopardize losing my wife and my children and the relationship I have with my kids. You keep the $1 billion, you keep all that stuff. But now, if I was to be violated, it might be.
Well, let me ask you this then: if Don King was drowning, and you happened to be there, you were the only guy who could save him, would you save his life or would you let him drown?
I'd save his life.
You would save his life.
Yes.
This is a different Mike Tyson.
Who are you, by the way? Is this Mike Tyson?
No,
We wanted the fighter.
Did the real Mike Tyson die?
no way. I don't want that. And trust me, I don't want that over my head. I'm the cause of somebody dying over some money. That's okay. You can keep that money. I have this. This is better than I ever had. I couldn't accomplish what I've accomplished with $1 billion. I was nothing with my money.
Do you regret putting the tattoo on your face?
No way.
You don't. You love it.
No.
Because
Yes.
I thought it was the most severe thing that you. It was almost like you were angry at yourself. This was me playing pop psychologist. I was like, Mike's just fucking pissed off, and he just wants to. He wants to claim his own body in a way, like in the most severe way. Like say, fuck it, man. I'm gonna.
Well, that's interesting that you had that, because I felt like I was owned my whole life.
Right.
Yeah,
and I think this
felt
was
that
your way of trying to own your own body in a sense.
I don't
This
know. but I
is
just thought,
my body.
Yeah.
It's my body.
No, seriously. Do you understand that at all, or is that?
I understand it implicitly, but it's not that way. But it is that way
Why did you
Kind
do
of.
it?
because I thought it was an awesome tattoo and I wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I did it because I knew people would say that. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? And it's totally, I mean, it's totally abstract from the average thinking person, of course.
You know, for years, most tattoo artists would never tattoo a guy's face. A lot of them will not do it.
Well, my artist went and tattooed my face because my first idea wasn't this Maui signature. It was a bunch of hearts and stuff. And he said, I'm not going to do that.
Why?
He said, I'm not going to. He said, he don't want to have his work. He thought that wasn't fitting for me.
And so he said,
He said, if you do anything, you need to be a warrior. He said, you're a warrior. You need to have a warrior signature on your face.
right. And so you said, okay, put it on me.
No, I said, that's fine. He said, come back in a couple of days and I'll call you and we'll look over some tribal.
Are you glad he did that?
Yeah, I'm so happy he did.
Right.
Victor Paradox
Yeah,
is
but
his
you know
name.
what? It's funny
what?
that you say
His name
you
is
took.
Victor Paradox.
Okay, right.
It's funny that he says that, you know, he spent days before he got that because everybody assumed it was a spontaneous
No, this guy-
occurrence.
when you have a truly professional tattoo artist, he's not going to put anything on your face with his signature on it.
No
he's
way.
He's not going to do it.
Yeah,
he's
I mean-
not going to do it.
Because it's one of the most famous tattoos in the world, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's just not going to do it. But he didn't look at it. He didn't look at it that because Mike Tyson. He never looked at it. Mike Tyson's going to have my tattoo. Because I wanted hearts. He could have just put hearts on my face. He said, I'm not doing that. You have to go somewhere else. You know, and so
Right.
that's why I respect that, and so we look for a good tattoo.
so you're telling me you never had to fight in prison? You never had to fight another guy?
No, yes, once or twice I get irritated and I hit somebody, but other than that, I didn't have no fight.
And were they irritating you because they were challenging you, or were they irritating you because they were just, hey, Mike, give me something?
No, I was mad because I got bad news from my lawyer.
I see.
Yeah.
And the bad news, what? They wouldn't give you an early release or
Yes.
something along those lines?
Yeah, so then I get angry and I start hitting people.
The first guy you saw, you just smacked.
Yes, well, somebody that probably angered me for something a few months ago, and this is the time to hit him for it.
Now, when
It is what it is.
when you hit a guy with your bare hands, it's a whole different situation
Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good.
because you can hurt your hand.
I always break my hand. Never fails. That's why I don't do it anymore.
Isn't that amazing about fighting? People don't understand that. Like when you see fights on TV, they go on forever. Usually, when you see a fight in real life, and
They don't last long in the street.
no, one shot, man.
Because that's why UFC is so famous. Because as a person, me, Mike Tyson, I don't care who you are. If you're going to hit somebody and hurt a guy, the real objective, you want to get the guy on the ground. You
Right,
know what I mean? You
right.
don't want to stand, you don't want to punch the guy, you want to get him on the ground so you can stomp on him.
Right.
You're not going to break your foot.
Yeah.
You know, but it's guaranteed, I don't care how strong you are, how big you are, well, you know, you got to break your hand because your hands are not meant to be hitting things. That's
Mike,
actually what it is.
what happened to boxing? When you were boxing, boxing was a big, big deal. I can't even tell you who the world champ is right now. I can't even, I don't, maybe it's just me, but
You know, how time has changed now. Like if I say this, listen, if I go on television, also if I say it here, but this is the reality. You know, fighting, in order for boxing to be exciting, and this is what people don't want to hear. They want boxing to be exciting without this. In order for it to be exciting, you have to want to hurt him.
Right.
Bad.
So what do you think? There's a lot of guys out there who just don't want to hurt anybody?
No, exactly. Well, you can tell by the way they're fighting, they don't want to hurt each other.
Would they
Very
fight
few.
like pussies?
Well, they fight like, well, you don't hit me and I won't hit you.
I remember how shocked I was when Buster Douglas fight happened. This is the
You
first.
weren't more shocked than I was.
Right.
Okay.
Almost
But
nobody
my-
saw that fight because nobody had that expectation.
I've never had the opportunity to talk to you before, but again, here's me playing pop psychologist. I always figured you just didn't want to win that fight. Like you'd had enough because A, you were out of shape for the fight.
Yeah.
And it was almost like you're like, okay, let me fucking lose this thing already and be done with it. It was almost like committing suicide.
Kind of, in a way, yes. Because that's why when I retired, that was another form of suicide. But it's killing some bad stuff. It's not killing a good person. You're killing the right person. But we don't know how to get the person that we're not supposed to kill out of the body of the guy that we should kill.
Yeah, I understand that.
I know you would understand that one.
Because there was a girl I knew who was in porn.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I can't get out of porn. So she tattooed every part of her body so that it would force her out of porn. Like she said, I can't get out otherwise. So I made my body so they wouldn't want to photograph me anymore in this pornography. And in a sense, it's like you almost don't know, the money's coming in, you're Mike Tyson, you're this huge success, but meanwhile you're miserable. You're fucking miserable.
I'm the most miserable person that I've ever met in my life was myself.
Right.
When I was at that height of fighting and success.
Right. So all of a sudden, how do you end all of that in a way?
But you keep the good guy alive.
Right.
It's all an inside job, man. It takes a long time of therapy, a long time of just challenging your decision-making qualities. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes doing this stuff, but you have to get it done or it's gonna kill you.
Is that the point of your one-man show? Are you trying, is the message, hey man, if you manage to live long enough, that even the angriest guy in the world, the guy with the worst upbringing, the mother who was a prostitute, the one who was uncared for, unloved, and custom
the
model,
guy who grew up in the system.
Is the point, hey man, if you can hang in there, maybe there's something beautiful at the end of the tunnel?
I don't know. It's all about waiting for the transition and not getting old too soon and smart too late. Hopefully I got this grasp now. No one knows what's coming around the corner, 10 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now. I'm just enjoying what's going on now. And if it's making, listen, because what I'm doing on Broadway and doing these shows, I'm not going to get wealthy doing this.
Right.
I love doing this.
Right.
And that's why I do it. But as far as doing this for money, I need a second job. There's no doubt about that. But this is what I love doing. I love entertaining people.
Do you when you first got on stage and you had to do a one-man show, it had to be intimidating as hell because that's not your background. I mean, you're not a guy who
when
goes
I got on that stage, I felt that I was, I thought, man, I don't know. I thought it was Sammy Davis Jr. or Julie Garland, somebody. I just felt that this is where I belong. I belong.
Really?
Instant gratification as soon as I went on the stage. Instant. It wasn't like a movie.
And Spike Lee helped you format the thing? In other words,
Spike Lee had his format for, the Broadway version.
Right.
Because we had the show before Spike got involved for 2 weeks, and we had a rock band, we had a vocalist, we had a piano player, and it was like big time Vegas, lights, cameras, action, and it made me feel so not me. I felt glamorous, I felt beautiful, and then Spike took all that away and put me up there by myself.
Yep, but he was right, wasn't he?
Yes.
People don't want to see you doing that. That would have been a joke.
I like that because that buffers me from really being honest.
Right, it was like a facade.
Yeah, facade. But now I'm on there, and if you're not emotionally composed, you're gonna cry. You're gonna, it's just wild doing that stuff. And I say to myself, why do you do this to yourself, Mike? Why do you do this to yourself? And it's because I want people to look at me and see me, and I want them to applaud.
So you don't get nervous when you go up on stage?
No, I'm nervous when I'm not on stage.
Really?
I'm nervous when I'm home and I'm not doing anything. I think, how am I going to feed these kids? How am I going to pay these bills?
That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
what is the game plan? All right, you got the
damn.
one-man show. I know you got a book coming out you've been working on and that kind of stuff. So what is the game plan to get the money and get
I'm not looking for the money no more. That's
But you need it.
That's gone, Howard. That's never going to happen. I work from check to check.
Really? There's
show.
nothing in savings?
No, very small for kids and all that stuff. But as far as me, I'm going to die. Hopefully I have life insurance, but I have a headstone. But this is good stuff, Howard.
Does Evander Holyfield, is he a wealthy guy? Did he hold on to his money?
No, he was getting foreclosure statements.
I don't know anything about his finances.
Are you friendly with him at all now?
Very friendly, yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Does he look at you every time and say, why the fuck did you bite my ear off?
No, he never does.
Do you have an answer for him? What is the answer?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But that's so not you. You are a fan of boxing, and you are an aficionado of boxing.
But I wasn't a boxer back then. I was just a guy living my life.
Were you scared that night?
High. No, I'm scared every night, but never scared that he's going to beat me up kind of scared.
Right. That must be a wonderful feeling, never to be scared of a man's physical prowess, that you can take down any guy.
No. I don't know that I could take down any guy. Never about his physical powers. I don't look at life like that. I look at life that God made man big and small.
Yeah, but I
And Smith and
fantasize.
Wesson made men equal.
But I fantasize about being a great gladiator, a great warrior. In other words, I've been in a ton of fights.
Warrior, a physical
yeah, a
warrior.
physical warrior. I don't have that ability. I've been in a million fights and I've lost almost all of them. And I know when you were young, you lost a lot of fights. You were heavy set and stuff, and then you learned how to box. But I mean, what is that feeling like when you fucking take your fist and you fucking pound someone till the point that they pass out? There's got to be no better feeling.
It's like drugs.
Right.
It's like drugs. It gives you everything you want.
Yes.
But it takes back so much more in return.
What does it take back?
Everything.
Your soul.
Yeah, your spirit, your soul. How do you think about how do you? I wanted to take people's nose and stick it in their brain. How do you want to do that if you're a humanitarian? How do you want to do that to another human being?
Because you want to kill them, right?
But that's back then, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's back then.
And so the point is that you really are a sensitive guy inside, and that sensitive guy, it was almost like you couldn't let him out, or else you wouldn't want to put somebody's nose into their brain.
Or maybe that's what you're protecting.
But I just know I don't want to hurt anybody no more like that.
Do you feel bad
But
about,
Howard,
do you
I
feel
mean,
bad
I
about
used-
people that you hurt?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to. You ended people's careers.
Yeah.
So many people stopped boxing after you hit them.
Yeah.
You know, that was what a Mike Tyson punch was like.
Yeah.
They stopped boxing.
Yeah. And so, listen, that's the game.
Yeah, I wanted to be somebody.
Yeah.
You were.
You definitely are. You definitely are someone.
Well,
Pretty-
back then again, at least.
Yeah. So did you ever give anal sex to anybody?
Huh? I told you, but I don't do that anymore. I don't do
But
that
you've done
anymore.
it. You've done it to
I don't
people.
do that. I don't do that. I'm halal. You can't do that stuff.
That's
because,
considered dirty.
Yes, because people, you gotta be. If I did do it, I have to be around the person every day, walking around, find out what to eat. They got seeds. Because when you're having anal sex, you're rupturing
duty.
that. Yeah,
Duty.
You're rupturing in that toxic bag. And the toxic bag busts the stool. The stool it busts.
The Quran does not allow anal. Let's be honest.
Anal is bad.
It is.
Anal is bad.
How religious
Anal
are
is
you?
bad.
Do you actually pray every day?
Man, God, I pray every day. I miss prayers. I try my best.
Where do you stand on gay marriage?
Gay marriage, I think if you're happy, you should just be with who you're happy
Right?
with.
Doesn't religion interfere with sensible thinking sometimes?
No, but listen, I don't know. I never heard. It's not much sensible thinking when you think about you can stop somebody from living their life. So what do we want to do? You think God would want to kill all these people?
Of course.
Because they have a different. No, I don't believe
right.
it. I just don't believe that. You have to have some kind of rationality.
Right. So you can't follow everything in the Bible.
Why is it
Quran.
always about hurting and killing somebody?
It's crazy.
Why has it got to be about hurting and punishing somebody? Why can't it be about just getting along with people?
Most religions, though, seem to want to hurt and punish people. That's where I have a
Well, the
problem with
people
religion.
who practice them, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I don't know if the religion is doing it.
I'm not God. I can't even represent Islam. How could I represent, 900 million people?
Right.
You know what I mean? I wasn't a good Christian. How am I be a good Muslim?
Hey, did you ever meet Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
Of
Is
course
that
he has.
Is that mind blowing to you? Like
Yeah.
to meet him? Was he the
Yeah,
greatest of all time?
There's no doubt. But not only this, I've met Muhammad Ali probably 100 times. But every time you meet him, it's like the first time. There's something special about this gentleman right here.
Now he's like unable to talk, right? So have you ever been able to have like a conversation with him?
Well, when I'm around him, he doesn't talk much, and I don't say much to him. I just watch him.
Where do you see him? Where do you meet with him?
If he's at his home, I met him at his home on a couple of occasions, and he came to my house on a couple of occasions.
No
Wow.
kidding. So yeah. What?
When was the first time you met him, Mike?
First time I met him, I was in Spofford Juvenile Detention Center. I was in, and he came to visit the kids, like I do. I come and visit kids at the hospital.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was that like a defining moment in your life?
Yeah, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be. I didn't know if I wanted to be a boxer, but I knew I wanted to be famous.
Right. And you were what, about 13 years old?
Probably 11.
And you're in the center, and like, look who shows up. It had to be a great day. I mean, you probably didn't have many great days there.
No, I
So-
had great days there every day. There was a bunch of kids there. It was a bunch of kids. We were fighting every day. We were stabbing each other. We were playing basketball. We were
That's
having
great.
fun. Yeah.
It sounds like hell to me. I think you're kidding yourself that was great. Not to have a family, not to
Hey,
have...
listen, if you never had it, how would you know if it was great or bad? Everybody's mother and father was my mother and father.
But I grew up feeling very unsafe in my community. I grew
Well,
up in
I
a
was too.
hellhole.
I was unsafe too, but you had to fight to become safe.
I did. I fought, and I didn't win, so I wasn't safe. I fought. I always fought.
Listen, Howard, this is what I found out about fighting, which is very interesting about fighting. You always have to fight.
Right.
Even if you know you're going to lose,
yes,
you still have to fight.
Yeah,
I never knew how that made any sense, but it got me a long way. I didn't win all the fights, but I got a lot of friends just because I fought.
Yeah,
and they'll fight for you if they know you fight.
As a man, even as a young boy, I would feel ashamed if I didn't fight back. You know, I would feel this sense of shame.
Well, some
something is killing me slowly, and I'm feeling so lonely. But this thing I must to talk, oh. All my people, they for bush, oh. And our children are they go for school, oh. But nobody fit to talk, oh. We get to plenty, so many things where we really want to complain to you. See these people where they kill us, not the people where they get for protect me, yeah. Our children, they for prison. Our leaders, they for prison. Now they calling for dialogue. Now who and who go talk, oh. That's why we pray to God. Heal our land, heal our land, heal our land. Cause all our people are dying, and our mothers are crying. Heal our land, heal our land, heal our land. Cause all our children are dying, and our mothers are crying. Yeah. But I don't know what's up, oh, at all, oh. This war is bigger, and one man of it put a stop, oh. So make we put them all together, oh. I see plenty people don't die, and the house they went burn. I saw the people they need so far. Everybody running helter skelter, the children they suffer. There is no food and shelter. Our children down the suffer, while the leaders living la vida loca. Yeah. So now we go so Cameroon, though. We get to plenty, so many things where we really want to complain to you. See these people where they kill us, not the people where they get for protect me, yeah. No. Our children, they for prison. Our leaders, they for prison. But they be calling for dialogue. Now who and who go talk, oh. That's why we pray to God. Heal our land, heal our land, heal our land. Cause all our people are dying, and our mothers are crying. Heal our land, heal our land, heal our land. Cause all our children are dying, and our mothers are crying.
Okay, let's take a minute of silence for our brothers and sisters who have lost their life in the struggle, and our mothers who are living in the bushes, our children suffering in the bushes with no food and no shelter. We pray that may peace return in our land, so that we can live in peace, peace forever. That's what we cry for.
We get to plenty, so many things where we really want to complain to you. See these people where they kill us, not the people where they get for protect me, yeah. Our children, they for prison. Our leaders, they for prison. But they've been calling for dialogue. Now who and who go talk, oh. That's why we pray to God. Heal our land, heal our land, heal our land. Cause all our people are dying, and our mothers are crying. Heal our land, heal our land, heal our land. Cause all our children are dying, and our mothers are crying. Say we get to plenty, so many things that we really want to complain to you, Daddy. Now we go so Abaminda.